at 21, I did DMT for the first time. I had some friends come over. We smoked it, and they took the first hit, things starting to warp. The second hit, like really warping, like fractals, geometry. And if you're doing the 3-hit method, it's so hard to get that third hit in. You're like, the lighter feels like it's like a light year away. You're trying to like get it into the bowl, and I managed to do it, and I immediately go to the void. So, black, nothingness, spaceless space, timeless time. Like there was time, but it was timeless. And there was space, kind of, but it was spaceless. And it was just me. And right when I get there, immediately I'm like, oh my God, this. Like, I missed this. I remember this. There was like an intense remembrance. And I was in this space for a while, just like really enjoying the peace and of like the infinite, and the infinite as well as absolutely nothing. And eventually this woman came in to the scene, and she was like massive, like the size of the universe, massive, and she was beautiful, and she was green, and she had this like beautiful long auburn hair. And since then, her image changes, as through the story every time I see her, she might look a little bit different, but this is how I saw her this time. And she was like, and it was like, oh my God, it's good to see you again. And she was like giggling, and then she was laughing at me at one point. She was like, look at you, Christian, like, look at this body that you're stuck in. You're so limited. She was kind of like prodding, like, silly human, like, it's got to suck being so limiting, I knew her and I remembered her, and it was so good to see her again. I guess I had a body in this space, like an etheric body or something. She separated my consciousness from my body. So I was like way over here, and my body was over here, but I could still feel everything that was going on with my body. It was almost like I had split perception. Like I was with my body, but I was also over here. The best way I can describe moving in this spaceless space is swimming. So she was like swimming in this spaceless space, and she would go into my heart. She would do a loop and come into my heart. And when she hit my heart, like everything would light up. And then she'd come out the backside and do another loop the other way and come into my heart. Everything would light up. So she was making an infinity sign with my heart being the node in the center. And she started doing it faster and faster and faster and faster and faster until she was doing it essentially at the speed of light. So I was just like constantly lit up, and it was overwhelming. It was really intense. And I was like, what are you doing? In shock. And she was like, she said, I'm cleaning you of your impurities for your upcoming mission. Every time I say that, I still get chills, like, and I was like, okay, like, sounds good, thanks. That was the end of the experience, or that's all I can remember. But I remember afterwards being like, it felt like I had been kissed by an angel, it felt like I had been touched by the most divine. And I was just like elated for a good few weeks. And it opened up the door to a whole new realm of existence that I had heard about, but hadn't quite experienced. And so DMT became a big part of my story.